Hey, Big Brother fans. So CBS has released the BB comics we're going to be seeing on Thursdays live. Nice long 2-hour episode since we don't have an episode Wednesday night. And we're going to take a look at those right now and talk about just the insanity. We heard about these when they were talking on the live feeds, but to look at them, it's really interesting. Some of them are good. Some of them are not as good. We'll talk about it. If you haven't, please click subscribe. And now we are going to start in order of eviction and take it down to the current 5. So that puts us starting with Matt Hardeman as Crazy Eyes. And a lot of people thought that they shouldn't do this because they were saying it was racist. But I think a lot of people have decided he just kind of seems to have very, crazy, not his eyes themselves, just the facial expression. So he has crazy eyes. There's like lasers shooting out of his eyes. It's very Cyclops from X-Men. And the subheading is "His retina is getting ya." And there's like a city burning down behind him, and he's buff and, not a lot to work with because we didn't really get to know the guy that well. The next evicted house guest and their comic is Lisa as the glitter critter. And this one's kind of funny because it looks like she is in a Hobby Lobby or something with a tub of glitter. And it looks like there's little almost troll dolls around her. She looks like a little troll. It's kind of weird. And it says, "Don't feed her edible glitter after midnight." Nobody wanted to eat that edible glitter in the whole house. I mean, if she had glittered my food, I would have been a little upset as well. Next evicted comic, Kenny as Sweet Kenny K. This comic is so weird to me. And the caption on it is, "He's a real wiener," and he's like in a hot dog bun, and there's a guy that he's punching who's holding the hot dog, and there's this liquid shooting out of his mouth. This one is just really, I don't know, it almost has a pervy look to me. I don't understand it. I find it disturbing. Look at it and see what you guys think. It's just a little weird for me. All right, next evicted was Cedric, and as I expected, he is Young Cedric, and you can see behind him the Superhero Training Academy. And what's interesting is the people around him that are shown below it. And there's a few people that you should recognize. It looks like there's a little cartoon Nicole in her Oktoberfest outfit. It looks like in the bottom left, there is Jag in his chicken outfit. And the caption reads, "Barely legal, totally lethal." It is too cute. And Brooklyn, as we predicted, it would be meat and cheese related. She is the Charcuter-Thief, and she's in a grocery store, and she's got a tray of meats and cheeses, which are probably still good for at least another week or two. Those things don't expire that fast. And the caption is, "Hide your salami," which again is just very funny to me. I think they are definitely doing some double entendres in these. Tucker was next out, and his comic is the Instigator. And there's a bunch of like New York Times billboards around him with weird sayings like "expert stumped," "chaos ensues," "veto stolen," "unexpected," "now expected," "block in shambles." And it has a very Jim Carrey look to it if Jim Carrey were buff. And the little caption at the bottom says, "He'll tuck you up." That one's kind of cute. Next is Joseph, and he is Rewind. So we have got a little calendar behind him with a July 2001 month showing with Meet Dr. Will circled. And if you don't know the date, that was back when BB2 was airing. There's a bunch of clocks around him. It is a very steampunk time machine. Actually looks like that time machine from, the Thing, the time machine. And looks like there's a VCR, and he's got CD-ROM knee pads, and it's futuristic. And the caption is pausing crime throughout time. So that one's kind of cute. Quinn Martin went out next, and his is Quinn Sanity. And he has got a straight jacket on. He has got curly hair going everywhere, grabbing people. And it says the ultimate mad hair day. And it looks like he is in an asylum, and his hair is acting like Doc Ock's arms. And he's got a couple of orderlies squished up. It's pretty cute. T-Kor is Cro-Slay, and she is a superhero who has captured bad guys in a crocheted basket, a crocheted mitten, a crocheted scarf, and she's in this cute little crocheted outfit, and it says, cross her, and you're in deep knit. That one is pretty cute. Leah's predictably was the Chubby Chaser, and she has got a hold of this one really chunky dude who's carrying bags of slop burgers, and he is definitely the kind of dad bod she says she wanted. And then there's another guy beside him running off with double orders of fries who's also really chunky. And below it, it says, she's a heavy hitter. Angela is the atomic mom. And I'd have to look back through all the other comics to see how many other versions had other people on them, because Angela's comic has Matt on it. And she is this oversized lunatic, like crushing a city. And in her gloved hand being crushed is Matt, and he does have kind of a crazy eyes face on. And she also has, one of her hands has one of those claw reachers like she was having to use for that atomic challenge. And Angela's caption may be the most apt, because it says she's ready to go nuclear. And as we know, she always was, but I do miss her in the house. All right, now we're going to talk about the final 5. I'm going to go through them in the order I think they're likely going to be evicted, just for fun. So I'm going to start with Chemo. And this is probably the best shape Chemo has ever been in. His comic name is Volchemo, and it's just kind of generic. It's nothing even about him. He's all about song and dance, glaring at people over his glasses. There's just so many kind of more definable things. And especially since we've seen him all season, they had so much more to work with. But they just went with like a generic Hawaiian trope. He's built like The Rock in this, and he's got lava shooting out of his arms where there are no hands. And it says all's fair in lava and more. And it's generic. I don't love it. Rubina is the roller rebel. And again, this is something from not within the game. It's because we know she liked to roller skate on social media. And it's just like, okay, her caption is, won't let crime skate by. And she's just kicking people around. So yeah, Cam is the chameleon, and his caption is, no one will see him coming. He's slithering down a wall where like half of him is blending in. And if he does win this, I will say this comic might be apt, because nobody sees him coming because he's been so under the radar. Next to the last is Mackenzie, and hers is Mech-Kenzie. So she is some kind of hot robot built in a lab from the neck down. She's pretty much all cyborg. It's very strange, and it says she'll control, alt, delete you. So, okay. Last, but by no means least, Chelsea is the microchip, and it's just her in that downgrade outfit, except the caption's pretty funny. It says she's on the ultimate power trip. And yeah, I think she is, because unless something strange happens, she's probably going to walk away with this. So that is all of the comics. Please subscribe if you haven't already.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.